up to the first fish here. I thought, you know what, I'll just take a bit of a stab in the dark and just chuck on a little surface lure. And I just managed to hook one. He's not a little bad fish. I don't think he's really anything of size. Oh, he's only a little mini tacker there. There he is there. Just a little one, but still not too bad on the surface. Anything on the surface is still really fun. Well, there's that little fish there. Nothing really of size, but he's been pinned pretty much on all of those hooks, plus that little assist hook at the back. So there we are. Anyway, I get the hooks out and we'll get a quick release. Alright, well, I've just got the hooks out of this little fellow here. We're just getting back. Don't splash me, don't splash me. And there he goes. So for this little bit of surface fishing I'm going to try this morning, I'm just flicking along these sort of steps here, and you notice the brim start to hang quite shallow to the steps. So what I'm going to be doing is putting casts just along here, and hopefully I can find a couple fish. Alright, so I've just got my little surface popper there, and all I'm going to do is just pop a cast just along there, and let's hope I can find a couple fish. Alright, well, I've just stood up to another fish just on that surface lure. I was just working along these steps here, and it's not a bad fish as well. Unfortunately, I don't have my GoPro with me today. I've accidentally misplaced it, so I'm all using the big camera today, but I'm gonna see how it goes. And there he is, a nice chunk of a brim, just on that little Skinny Pop Jr there. As you can see, I've just got him on that back treble and that assist hook there, so it pays to run a little bit of an assist hook, but nice fish. Beautiful little brim there. I reckon he's probably a good 31, 32 centimeters. I'll give him a quick measure afterwards. But how awesome is that? Unfortunately, I've kind of struggled to get footage of hookups on camera, as it is quite hard to film with the big camera while you're fishing, but you can't complain when you're getting fish like that. So let's get it back out there and see if we can get another one. Alright, so I just got these hooks out, and I kid you not, it was pinned on that one assist hook. That treble was just hanging in there, so I was lucky to get that fish. Anyway, we'll let him go. And there he goes. How awesome is that? Let's get another. Well, hooked up again. It's not a bad little fish. I was just working it just by those steps over there, so close, and he just smashed it. Well, there's that little fish there, just pinned in the back of those trebles there. Absolutely awesome little fish. Just nailed him just over on those steps there, and he was so keen on that lure. He splashed it like 5 or 6 times, no word of a lie. So there we are. But anyway, I reckon that wind, as you can see, is starting to pick up a little bit, so I may give it a few more casts of this and then pop back over to plastics, see how we go. But how can you not love surface fishing? Well, hooked up to another little fish. This one here literally took it right there, like probably 2 meters away from my yak. I've just sort of locked myself up here on the steps, and he just whacked it. And there he is there. Not a bad little brim. Geez, got a lot of go on him for a little tacker. Come on, buddy. Let's get you going. Look at that. He's such a small fish, but look how hard he's going. There he is. We'll get the hooks out and we'll get him a release. Well, there's that little fella there. Just a small tacker, but he absolutely whacked that lure right at my feet. I wasn't even ready for it. That was crazy. Anyway, we'll get that little lure out there and get him back. Alrighty, hooks are out of that little fella there, and we'll just get a quick release on him. Come on, buddy. Don't splash the lens. Oh, there he goes. That's the smoothest release I've had all day. Alright, let's try and upgrade, but I do just want to say an apology for not being able to get any hookups on film. It is extremely hard to film with this big camera and also fish and catch as well. So I really do want to say a bit of an apology in advance as well. But anyway, I hope we can get onto a few more fish. Well, I must admit, that's pretty embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. The lure is literally as big as that little fish there. We're getting one hooked. Oh, as I said that, and there he goes. Quick release. Alrighty guys, well, I've done quite a bit of fishing with this little Zipbaits Skinny Pop Jr here. So I'm gonna give surface a bit of a break. I've been working these pontoons without any luck. So I'm gonna move back over to a little Zman 2.5 inch slim swims there. I've got that on a 1/12 jig head. Reason being, it is quite windy today and I'm going to be fishing against the wind. So I want a bit of weight just to get it down and casting as well. So let's hope we can get onto a couple fish with that, and I'll keep you posted. Alright, well, I've just pulled over to this little calm area here, and first cast, and I got absolutely whacked. So I'm gonna reapply some of that S factor there, and I'm just casting pretty much horizontal with the steps here. And as you can see, well, that's a nice fish just there. That's a solid one. Anyway, I'm gonna try and attempt another bream on plastics. Well, I thought I'd change back over to a double clutch, and I've just hooked up to another nice little fish there. He's probably still around the same sort of size, but anyway, we'll get him aboard and get him a release. There he is there. What a pristine fish, hey. Just whack that double clutch. Couple twitches in and whack. So he'll probably go about maybe 30, I dare say. But nonetheless, a good fish. Oh no. And there he goes. I was just about to say, I'm just about to release a fish, and he just slipped straight out of my hands. That happened to the other fish as well. I was just about to release him, and then there he goes. But anyway, alright, let's get another fish, because I reckon they should be firing. Alright, well, I've done myself a bit of a mischief here. There's my top piece of my rod, and there's what's left. Right there. So I was kind of lucky. As I was casting my double clutch, it got a bit of a hold of the tip there and just cleaned it off at the second guide. But luckily for me, I've still got that second guide to use, so I can hopefully still go on fishing. Obviously it's a little bit of a heavier rod, but it's okay. I've decided to change from that double clutch after that fish over to a little Zman 2.5 inch Grubz there. And that's in your motor oil colour there. One of the most reliable soft plastics you can pretty much get. And I've just smeared that with a bit of S factor. Hopefully that should turn on a couple bream along those steps over there. Just working down around those pontoons. But anyway, I'll see how this rod suits us out. And let's hope we can get onto a couple more fish. Well, I must say, here's something you don't see every day. A little King George whiting. Just whacked that little Zman 2.5 inch hook Grubz, and there he goes. Alright, there's that little King George whiting there. Just get him a little release. And there he goes. That was so cool. I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel like a bream. And there you go, little King George whiting, eh? Something different. Well, there we are, another little specimen there. I've caught probably 2 more before this fish here and lost quite a few. But I haven't been able to find any bigger models on that little plastic there, so I either may just change it up a little bit or just keep persisting, see how I go. But anyway, we'll give this fella a little release. And there he goes. Alright, so I've kind of modified the way I've been rigging this little Zman 2.5 inch Grubz here. What I've done is actually changed it over to a little tournament jig head there. That's a 1/16 ounce, and I've moved on from a hidden weight only because I'm hoping that having that sort of head on the actual jig head should sort of give it a bit of direction as it floats down. So fingers crossed that works, and we'll give it a shot. So at the moment, guys, all I'm doing is just popping casts pretty much on a 45-degree angle straight into that wall there, and all I'm going to be doing is just working back my plastic through the deeper water. And I've picked up a couple fish doing that over the past couple weeks, so I'm hoping that it should prove productive today. But anyway, let's hope we can get into a couple more fish. Well, I was just casting around that pontoon just along that wall there, and I just hooked a flounder. How's that? Just whacked that little 2.5 inch Grubz there. I originally thought it was a good sized bream, and then it just went, and they didn't put up much of a fight, but it was quite, because they are quite flat as well, there's a lot of weight there. But how's that? A little flounder. So cool. It's actually my first from the lake. I've seen that many, I've missed that many, I've pulled hooks on that many, but I actually hooked one, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, we'll get the hooks out of him and get a release. Alright, well, I'll just pop that little Zman out of his mouth there. Gee, he was not going anywhere. Alright, this is a job for the trusty rusty pliers. I like that. Let's try and weave that out of him. Well, I just got the hooks out of this flounder here. I'll just pop him back. Whoop. And there he goes, he's just drifting down to the bottom.